Hey guys, and welcome. We are Drinking with the Castros, and we just got back from a weekend trip to Hungary. We specifically were in Budapest. And if you are planning a trip, or if you don't know where to start, or if you are specifically are traveling with kids and you want to know about European destinations, or maybe you have an interest in Hungary, then this video is for you. I'm going to be walking you through our itinerary. And excuse my voice, I have lost my voice and it is finally coming back. So, before we get in, if you are new here, welcome. We are Trekking with the Castros. We are a family of 6 with 4 kiddos who sold everything, and we now move from the United States, and we are living in Romania. So while we live here, we are exploring other European destinations, and I thought it'd be helpful to share our experience with Hungary and what we actually thought about it. So we flew out on a Friday, and it was like it's an hour flight from our local airport. So we took a quick 1 hour flight over and stayed at the Hotel Central Basilica because it is right next to the Basilica Church right there. We stayed on the Pest side, so the Danube River essentially splits Budapest because it used to be one side was Buda, then there was the Danube, and the other side is Pest. So then they merged together. So we stayed on the Pest side and didn't really venture much into the Buda side, but getting that going, we stayed there. We had 2 rooms. It was a wonderful hotel, really centrally located, and I would absolutely recommend that to anyone. So we didn't get there until late on Friday night because my husband worked all day on Friday so that we didn't have to miss work. Saturday rolled around. It was our first full day in the city, and we started it with a Danube sightseeing cruise. We had a boat. It was almost empty. We had almost the entire boat to ourselves. They served us with welcome drinks and this like homemade lemonade, which the kids thought was fabulous. And we had audio tracks and we could listen to the history. And it was like when a man was talking, he was talking about the Buddha side. And then like when the woman was talking, she was talking about the history and the architecture and the buildings along the Pest side, which was really great. And then in the middle, well, it wasn't in the middle, it was sort of like at the end, you could actually get off onto the Marguerite Island where there's like 2 pools. They do Olympic swimming training there. There's carriage rides. There's no cars allowed, but you can, a lot of people do like jogging and walking there. Training was a little bit more just like outdoorsy, and apparently there's like a little zoo too, so it's really just known for its swimming pools. So we did not get off there, and then we went back. So after that, we headed over to the Budapest Eye, which if you don't know, that is the really famous Ferris wheel there, centrally located. And we bought tickets in advance. And once you buy your tickets, you have 30 days to use them. So we had bought them ahead of time. It was a little bit of a hassle, like getting our tickets to work. And there was like a huge holdup. I don't really know what was happening. But at the end, it worked. We got on, and it's high. The first, you get 3 full rounds, but they for some reason they let us do 4 full rounds, which was like 30 minutes. And the first round we were all a little shaky because it's really high up there. The kids were a little nervous too. But after the first round, every time we did a full circle, we kind of all relaxed and really could just see the breathtaking scenery above you and what was surrounding. So it was really beautiful, and the tickets are quite affordable. So then after that, we pretty much walked around and explored, and we really discovered how culturally diverse the food scene is there. It's not just Italian, it's not just Hungarian, but there is also tons of Asian cuisine. There was some Irish pubs there. There was Mexican restaurants there, but it's like a Mexican elevated twist. So there was all kinds of things. So we really just kind of hung out there and for the rest of the afternoon. So then Sunday rolled around, which was our last day, full day there. So on Sunday, you can go and see the Budapest Eye, which takes like a 12-minute drive from the city. We actually did not do that. We ended up going to, we decided we were going to do like our own local food tour. So we started off with a place in it's like the Jewish quarter. It's like a really large Jewish area. It's like a neighborhood essentially. So we wandered into there and saw the largest synagogue. I think it's like in all of Europe, but it's like a massively large synagogue. And like right a few steps away, It's a restaurant called Fat Mama, okay? And it is fabulous. If you are in Budapest, you have got to go to Fat Mama. The reviews speak for themselves when I was researching this, which is exactly what brought us there. So we went to Fat Mama, and essentially what it is, it's like all outside. They have live music during the day for a short term, and they have live music at night as well. But we were there around lunchtime. So what the deal is you can essentially sit outside, or there's a smaller inside area, but the backyard courtyard is like mostly shaded. They have fans with misters, a little bar area, which was really cute. And there's all different types of outside seating. So there's like 3 different almost sections, and they all have different types of shading, like different vibes, very like backyard barbecue style. So what they do is they smoke their own meat right there on like in-house outside, so with all their smokers. So we got this big platter for 2, which is enough for everybody to snack on. And we had ribs, we had pork, we had chicken, we had like everything there. They had this amazing Asian cucumber salad with fresh coleslaw. It was amazing. We got goulash with their homemade Fat Mama flatbread, which was also delicious. And then they said, oh my gosh, let me show you this hot sauce. We were like, okay, we like hot sauce. So the server that was helping us, his neighbor actually grows the peppers and bottles it and sells it. So we were like, local hot sauce? Yes. I mean, 2 drops of this and it will light you up. But the flavor was awesome, and it wasn't watery. It was like really nice and thick. So it was delicious. We actually bought 2. Those were the only 2 souvenirs we actually left with, were 2 bottles of hot sauce. And I don't think we could have done anything better than that. So the meat was falling off the bone. It was super tender. I'll add a picture in this somewhere, but it was delicious. So after Fat Mama, we actually left and went to this Mexican restaurant that my husband really wanted to go to. And it's like an elevated twist on Mexican food, because when we were in Spain, we had some amazing Mexican tacos. So we were like, let's try it here. It was not as great as we thought it was going to be. It was good. Some of the tacos were really good, but then my husband ordered I don't want to say it was a chalupa, something along those lines. But my husband didn't read it fully. So what he thought he was getting was like a Mexican like burrito style chalupa thing. And it was not. It was actually stuffed with Indian food. So the flavor profile kind of like threw us off a little bit, but the flavor profile might have, my son loved it. So I'm not saying it was bad, but it just wasn't what we were expecting to get because of our misreading of the menu. And so it was sort of like kind of threw us off some. But the drinks were great too and super fresh. So then from there, we left and hit up Asian, and we had some little dumplings, which was really great because they had fan with misters outside. And then like on the street when you were sitting was like one side was the booth and the other side was like swinging chairs on ropes. So that was like a really fun experience to have. So we were able to do that. And it was like actually right next door to our hotel, which was a wonderful kind of accommodations. And then after that, we ended up like having more appetizers back at, we just kind of did appetizers at every little stop. So then we ended up back at the place that we ate for the first night, which was really good, which was sitting right across the street from the Central Basilica, which was great. 2 other places that we did not go that were sort of like on our backup to-do list, but our family opted not to do them, is the Labyrinth, which if you don't know is where Vlad, I always say this wrong, Tepes was actually imprisoned once there. So if you are aware of some of the Romanian and like the other geographical culture of that time, Vlad was a pretty big important player then. So you can actually see where he was imprisoned. It's almost like a little cave thing. It looks really cool. And then the other thing was there is like a really large souvenir shop that's supposed to be like really, really cool that has everything. We did not go there because we decided we've cut back on buying souvenirs, as we have really just minimalized and cut down on the items that we have in our home. So we did not go there, but it was really great. And then Monday we actually flew out. So we had to be like up at 5 a.m. and our flight was at 7:15. And then we were back home at our apartment in Romania at 9:30. So on Monday we had a full working day again. So it was a great little quick weekend trip. And there was so many things to do. If you're going there, you have to try the goulash. It's like their soup with meats, potatoes, and carrots with like a paprika-y tomato sauce, which is really good. And usually it comes with like a bread or something. There's like massive city parks. It's extremely culturally diverse. The food scene is phenomenal. So many selections to choose from. The people are overall pretty friendly. If you're coming from America, maybe just something to note is they're not overly friendly, talkative, and welcome in like this central tourist area. They tend to be more like standoffish and don't really have a lot to say. Don't let that put a sour taste in your mouth, because you get a little bit of that in Romania too. And what we've really had to learn is it's nothing bad. It's just a different demeanor and personality that they have. And you just kind of talk with them, be more open with them. And sometimes they open up, they share a little bit more, and don't just judge the book by their initial personality, because it might not be what it really is. So give them the benefit of the doubt. Also, one thing that my husband did at the end, that which surprised us, we did a city bike tour through the town. And it was like, we weren't biking, but like somebody else biked it for us, and it was awesome. They did great. We found them just on the street, and we waited an hour and a half while we had appetizers, and they came and picked us up from the restaurant, and they did a phenomenal tour. It was very laid back, and it was when the sun was setting, so we got to see beautiful views of the city. Everybody was starting to come out. It was getting lively, but it was like cool weather. The weather had cooled down, and it was a wonderful time. The weather there, it is a little hot. Okay, it is more humid. So like us coming from Romania, it was more humid. It was roughly the same 30 degrees that we're used to, Celsius, not Fahrenheit, but it is a little bit more humid. So just take that into note. Bring shorts if you're going in the summer. And August was pretty busy there. Other than that, we honestly loved it. It was one of our favorite cities that we have visited since living, and even before that, traveling through Europe. We had instantly been like, you know what? We could do 2 weeks easy in Hungary to explore more. We absolutely fell in love with Budapest. It was an amazing trip, short and sweet. We didn't have to miss any work for it, and it was a fabulous time. I highly recommend going to Budapest, Hungary. Highly recommend just exploring the whole town. Explore Pest and Buda. We did Pest, but next time we go, we will definitely do Buda. My dad and other family members were on the Buda side. They did not have as good of an experience as we did on the Pest side, so we were grateful that we initially went there so that then we could explore the other. From my understanding, Buda is a little bit more local, where Pest is a little bit more touristy. So just kind of keeping that in mind. But I'm sure most of you know the Danube River has such strong historical significance from like the Bronze Age and earlier for like a million years. And it has continued to have significant importance throughout history. So one of the fun things we did with our kids is to have like a little bit of what significance is the Danube and why. And so we were able to tie in history there, and the bridges are so important. Actually, the architect who did the Eiffel Tower actually designed one of the bridges there. And when you pulled in the Ottoman Empire, and there's just like so much rich history. It is just a wonderful thing that sometimes we don't get as much rich history in America. Not saying that the history is not great. The history is great, but it doesn't last as many years because it doesn't go as deeper, because it just wasn't established and colonized like it was in Europe. So we get a little bit more of the longer history, which has been nice to explore and appreciate. And obviously, we're a family that loves history. So no matter what history we're learning, we're loving it. But to hear history that is just like so much long lasting has been just really exciting for our family to learn, and just to compare to with different cultures, and seeing how all these cultures influence and develop these cities and the countries that we have now today. So visit, go to Budapest. It is great. If you are interested in the itinerary that we did for a quick trip, I will hopefully link it below, and you can use mine or reach out to me, and I will do a customized itinerary for your family, especially if you have kids. But do not hesitate, explore while your kids are young, train them that they can go with you, and go to Hungary. It was fabulous. Thanks for watching. Bye.